Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm still in my swiping zone and I'm using this gorgeous colour palette, blues and a gold. I'll list everything in the description below. And I'm using an A1 size large canvas. And I'm also using 2 of my embroidery hoops. And I'm going to place those directly in the middle of the canvas. I'm going to do a swirl on the inner circle like I did before, but this time I'm going to do a completely different design in the inner circle. So 2 different swirls, 2 different swipes, and I'm also going to do my swipes from the outer ring to the edge. So let me get this base colour down and then we talk through the process. Okay, so I've nearly done my base coat, and I always say getting the base coat consistency is the vital key to any success for a piece. So I'm layering my embroidery hoops in the center of the canvas. And you know what? I'm really loving seeing this technique evolve, using just the embroidery hoops, using a swipe and using different color palettes. And I really hope you're enjoying watching this journey evolve too. And I hope you're also trying it out. So if you're doing any of this, please tag me in your posts because I would love to see what you're creating. So in this circle, I'm just going to layer some gold. And then I'm going to get my piece of toilet paper and just swipe the gold within the black, infusing those colours together before I do the centerpiece. And later on, a special guest is joining me and I can't wait for you to see who it is. It's someone who I absolutely love and adore, and I think you'll love and adore him too. But that's for later. So let's continue layering the colours in this circle, swiping, and then we continue the process. Now the toilet paper that I'm using is dry, so I haven't dampened it with any water. I gently place it on the top of the paint. I let the paint absorb slightly into the paper before I start swiping. And I'm just going round in a circular motion. I'm watching some of that gold disappear, but that's okay because I'm going to add a little bit more gold on top and swipe through again. I wanted to create a different direction to this piece. It's very similar to the piece that I've done before, but this time I'm doing something totally different in the center. We're not going to leave that black or blank this time. But I wanted to make sure that I can create different movement and continue with the 3D effect of this swipe. So remember, when you use your toilet paper, just press gently down, let the paint connect with the paper, and just slowly, in one way, one movement, drag your paper around the circle. Remember, there's no rush to do this, so don't speed up this process. Just allow the paper to slowly swipe around the circle. Okay, so this time I'm not going to leave the centerpiece blank. I am not going to embellish it in any way with a mandala or stencil or anything. I want to continue the fluid art theme. So I'm layering some of my paints from the colour palette. That one's the Blue Black by Pebeo. I'm adding a little bit of Prussian blue. I love the Prussian blue. And what I will do is I will do the same thing with my toilet paper. I will allow it to connect with the paint and I will slowly swipe the centerpiece but again in a different direction, just to create a different kind of movement in the centerpiece before we swipe out the edges. I'm going to add a little bit of white. I'm hoping that that's going to help pop and create some cells, but if not, that doesn't matter. I just wanted to add a lighter colour to ensure that that centerpiece really pops out when the piece dries. So again, I'm just letting my paper do the work. I'm allowing it to touch the paint, and I'm swiping round in a circular motion, because the swipes on the outer edge will be in straight lines, or kind of straight lines. I wanted this to create a different movement, so I'm continuing with the circular theme in line with the hoops and just dragging it slowly in a circular motion before lifting it up from the centerpiece. So if you've seen my previous pieces, you know that I am keeping the hoops in place and I'm layering some paint around the outer hoop, and then I will swipe from the outer hoop to the edge. I'm just going to layer a couple of colours, and part of this process now I have sped up, because you know the process of allowing your paper to touch the paint and slowly dragging it across to the outer edge to continue with the swipe. So enjoy this process, and remember guys, enjoy being in that moment of now and enjoy the piece that you're creating for yourself. So I'm taking a piece of toilet paper. It's folded up in quite a wide width. Remember, I reduce the width of my paper as I go, because that's what helps create that 3D effect. So I have sped up the video in some parts just to show you how the process evolves itself. But remember, and I'd really encourage you to do this because I'm a big fan of mindfulness, being in the moment and being kind to yourself. When you're creating your artwork and you're in the process of your own creativity, just remember to take time for yourself. Enjoy the process, watch your piece evolve, and have no pressure on yourself. So that's my advice anyway. That's what I do, and that's how I enjoy being in my creative process. So as you can see, I've reduced the width of the toilet paper, and now I'm just going back round the circle and swiping again with the different width. That's going to help with the contrast of the larger width pieces that we've already swiped. And it's also going to help with the blending of the colours in the outer circle. And it's going to help create that shadow effect with the lines that we're using. The base colour is black, so it's quite a big contrast to the blue. But we're just blending in some of that colour as we swipe around the circle. and that's what allows you to create that 3D effect. So I'm just going to remove my hoops now, and I do that slowly because I don't want the paint to pop and spray everywhere when I lift the hoop up. So you just want to slowly lift it up, allow it to break away from the surface, and confidently just remove it from your canvas. Let's go in now for a closer look at some of the detail. And I just, I love it. As I said, I'm really enjoying experimenting with this technique. I'm loving to see how all these pieces are evolving by adding just some different elements to each one. And you can play around too with colour palettes that you love. But I really hope you've enjoyed this process. And don't go anywhere just yet, because as I said, I've got a special guest joining me shortly, and I can't wait for you to see him. Okay, so that's the wet version. I'm going to take you in for a look at the dry version. I'm a bit cramped room in my studio because I've been creating, but here's Bertie, our lovely, gorgeous Yorkshire Terrier, and he's joined me today in my studio so we can show you the dry piece. And I just want to show you some of these details. Bertie's going nowhere, so he's joining me for this part where I show you the close-up of the dried version. And don't forget to check out all my other social medias, Facebook and Instagram, to see more detail of the dried versions as well. I'll take you in for a closer look, and you can see how those swipes have turned out, and how that work that we've done in the middle, in that centerpiece, has also turned out too. I really love the dried result. I've got so many more ideas to make these pieces evolve even further, and I can't wait to show you the next few pieces that I've already designed, and they're actually drying on the tables, so that's why I can't show you too much of the studio. But for now, thank you so much for joining me, and I really appreciate all of your support. I hope you have a great week, and from myself and from Bertie, we thank you so much for all your love and support, and we hope to see you again soon, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Take care everyone, have a great week, and be kind to yourself. Bye.